Welcome back, everybody. It's Sport Federation TV. We carry on talking about sport in the province, sport in the Western Cape, and as you know, of course, across the districts, and one of the districts is, of course, Cape Winelands. Now, on a number of occasions, we've spoken about Q Sport. Now, Q Sport in South Africa, I think the simple explanation is for somebody who holds a cue. So things like blackball and snooker and billiards and so on. But to tell us a little bit more about Q Sport and specifically pool, and we all know what pool is, I've got the chairperson of pool, at least Q, well, Koos Steyn is on the line with me. Koos, welcome to Sport Federation TV. Explain it to me, please.
Hi JP. Yeah, it is. It's not that confusing. There are a few Q sport disciplines in South Africa. It's 8-ball pool, blackball pool, and then of course there is also snooker. Those are the recognized bodies. These are 9-ball and there's Chinese 8-ball, but those are currently the three recognized bodies. I'm the president of 8-ball pool South Africa. That's the 8-ball discipline, and then of course all of them belong to the one body from Saskok, and that's SACS, and which I'm the vice president currently. Yes, but
So
we all come together at some place.
Which is the one that we see in the movies? What's the most popular one? I think everybody, of course, remembers the Tom Cruise movie, the colors. What is that? Which one is that? Is that pool?
Yes, that's pool. Most popular one in the European countries is pool, 8-ball pool. If you go over to America that way, that is 9-ball pool, and then if you go in Asia side, it's more Chinese 8-ball that has been playing there in the last couple of years. So that's actually how they spread. America 9-ball, South Africa and European more 8-ball and blackball, and then Asia more Chinese 8-ball actually.
Now, your speciality is pool. You mentioned 8-ball pool, if I got that right. What is the difference between pool and 8-ball pool?
Yeah, look, you got 8-ball pool and you got blackball pool, which are two disciplines and two structures in South Africa. 8-ball pool, it's played on the same table. There's a little bit of difference in the rules, how you play the game in the rules. Not a lot of difference. And then on the tables itself, they usually use a table that the holes are a little bit bigger. Actually, if you really looked at it, 8-ball pool is a more strategic kind of game, and where you play blackball, of course, it's more open, and where people, it's the best potter, and there's a little bit of strategy there in as well. I don't want to talk about blackball pool and what their best side is, but yeah, there's more strategy involved. 8-ball pool is the more traditional European kind of pool that's been played over many years. Yes,
it must also be quite a challenge for you to manage the sport from a competitive point of view, when you think about the fact that a lot of your sports structures activities are dependent on social locations or private locations.
Yes, we are. We've been moving into some areas now where we get more and more. We got venues where we can play the game from, and the municipalities and government has been coming involved, where they provide us with these venues where we can play. And specifically just there for us to play pool, because we do have a problem, of course, in club venues. You know, we got juniors, and we got such a lot of young talent, and thousands of juniors in the Western Cape especially. Great world, those guys got the best talent in the world, and so we need to provide places for these guys to play. And I don't know if you are aware of pools that operate specifically in the Western Cape. We're going country now. But through SACS, what we're doing is we are getting funding for tables, and trying to put as many tables into schools and develop the game from school level onwards. And through that, we're trying to move out of sport, but it's been part of the game, and clubs has been part of the game for all these years. So we need them as well. We need them. You know, many of them are big sponsors of of our players when they go to the South African Championships and these kinds. We need these people in our game.
Tell us a little bit about the athletes themselves. Of course, you're in the Cape Winelands area, but you're also the president of Pool South Africa. How are we doing as Western Cape athletes when we go and compete against the other provinces? And now, of course, you have to be neutral because we know that you are the national president, but I'm going to ask you to put your provincial cap on for a second and tell me who's the best athletes in South Africa?
Well, let me tell you, whenever there's a national championship, you can be sure that the Western Cape, they will feature. Yeah, especially the Mitchells Plain area, that area, we've got players with tremendous talents. Western Cape have got some of the best talent in the world. I'm telling you that. So whenever at our national championships, when you get to the semi-finals and finals, I can assure you that Western Cape always future in those finals. I just also want to talk about the tables in development that's been happening. You know, we're also trying to develop the game as places all over, because there's one thing about pool. If you can move around the table and you can hold the cue, you can play it. And we've got categories. You start from under 14. We are putting up a national event for under 14s, under 18s, under 23s, and then your open side 40s. You're over 50, so you can play pool till you're 70 years old. You can play for the whole of your life.
Of course, that's absolutely fantastic news. Great news to know that you are developing the sport, Q Sport for the disability sector, Q Sport for the youth. As you're telling me, there's tables going out into school structures, and hopefully anybody that's watching right now, and we all know that Q is a very social sport as well. Hopefully anyone that's watching right now, especially in the Cape Winelands area, can go and visit your Facebook page and find a club near them. We of course know that at the moment everything is very organized and structured according to those COVID regulations, but nevertheless that shouldn't stop anybody that's interested from signing up.
Yes, now is the time to sign up. You know, the pool players are eager. They want to get back. Difficult for us to really put a program forward when you don't know what's happening. So it's not easy, but we know that out there are questions every day. When can we start play pool? When can we start play pool? So yes, clubs are reopened now. So I know with very strict protocol, they are allowed to go back into clubs and start practicing and playing, and that's something good. But you know, people want to they want to compete, so they want to know there's a national championship going to happen. We can't assure anybody because we don't know it, but we're going to try our utmost best to have national championships this year if it's possible, but we don't want to become part of the problem. So it all depends on that. I've always said to our people, guys, I know everybody wants to play pool, we wants to get out there, but don't we know what the reason is why we're not playing? So let us not just become part of the problem, and let's just be patient.
Thanks, Koos. Those are very wise words for everybody to be patient out there and wait for the right time until things are safe. So we'll say to you, best of luck. We know it's difficult for you and your team and your athletes out there. They're desperate to get on the table. Normally I'd say on the field or on the park or on the course, and in this case I'm saying get onto the table. And we'll say to you and everybody out there, stay safe, and we look forward to finding out more about Q Sport in Cape Winelands and pool.
Thank you for the opportunity, JP. Really, I just want to stress, you know, that 2 years ago, the last World Championships we had, South Africa ladies became World Championships. They didn't have a chance yet just to go and defend their title. So we're looking forward to that as well. But we are progressing in the world with our sport. And as I said, I anyway believe that we got some of the best talent in the world in South Africa, and especially, you know, the European countries are very good, but we are getting there. In the Western Cape, I'm from the Western Cape. I'm not biased, but really we do have some of the best talents.
That's fantastic stuff, Koos. We'll chat again soon.
Thank you, JP.
There we go, folks. Koos Steyn is the president of Pool South Africa, and he represents Pool in the Cape Winelands and Q Sports in the Cape Winelands as well. So if you are out there, as you saw on the ticker line, go and visit Pool on Facebook or Q Sports on Facebook. Just do a search there for Cape Winelands and reach out. We know that things are difficult at the moment, but get involved. Get yourself certainly on the list for when things do return to normal. And great to hear that our Western Cape athletes are doing so well. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from a break, we'll carry on talking about sport in the province. Back in a sec.